Well, it's already Week 5 in the NFL. Who's disappointed so far and who's impressed? Here are my Week 5 power rankings. Rounding out the bottom 8, we have Chargers, Dolphins, Titans, Colts, Lions, Bears, 49ers, and Cleveland. No real surprises here. None of these teams were ever really projected to be too good. Maybe the Titans, but they have a lot of developing to do. I don't really think any of these teams were ever really in it for a playoff run. I think that the Chargers obviously had a few bad weeks so far, but I never really thought that they were really a good team anyways. So it really doesn't surprise me that the Chargers are where they are. Moving on, coming in at number 17 through 24, we have the Panthers, Redskins, Cardinals, Jets, Jags, Giants, Saints, and Bucks. Again, some of these teams, maybe like the Giants, who spent the second most in free agent money this year on big acquisitions, it really just hasn't worked out for them. So also with the Jaguars, a lot of the teams predicted the Jaguars would be a lot higher on this list by this time this year. But it could turn around. It's only Week 5. Moving on to the teams like the Cardinals. A lot of people thought the Cardinals were a definite Super Bowl contender. They just ended up beating the Rams yesterday on Thursday Night Football. But they haven't looked too good as a team when they played good teams. Drew Stanton had to step in at quarterback for them. And Carson Palmer has not been able to stay healthy this year. Obviously, it's going to be a big struggle for them. But we look at a team like the Redskins. The Redskins obviously are still a contender in this weak division of the NFC East. Their defense has not been very good at all against the run. One of the worst teams in the league against the run. Their pass defense has been okay because of Josh Norman, but frankly, it's just not going to be good enough to get them in the playoffs in my mind. We do have a team, the Panthers. The Panthers obviously coming off the Super Bowl. Without Josh Norman, they seem to be really bad. They actually just cut one of their starting corners, Bené Benwikere. They had a game against Julio Jones, giving up 300 yards, and it's been really tough for the Panthers so far this season. 9 through 15 we go on to. We have the Falcons coming in at number 9. Obviously, you kind of had to put them higher on this list after the 300-yard game against the Panthers. Obviously, I know it's a division game, but frankly, I think that their team is pretty well-rounded. It's not too great on defense, but I think their offense is just so good with Devontae Freeman, Julio Jones, and Matt Ryan combined. I think that they're going to be a very good team this year, along with acquisition Mohamed Sanu. He hasn't really done too much yet, but I think he will coming up in the near future. We have number 10, the Chiefs. The Chiefs obviously haven't been as good on defense as they usually are. Just got pummeled by the Steelers. But frankly, I think that they're going to rebound. They do have a good offense and good head coach in Andy Reid. I think he'll turn it around for them really quickly. Coming at number 11, I have the Cowboys ranked at number 11. Other teams in here, we have the Ravens. I think they have obviously they're 3-1, so they are pretty good. But I just think that they're not a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't think that they're any much better than any other teams on here. I think they're kind of been lucky with their schedule a little bit. All right, moving into the top 8. We have the Packers coming in at number 8. Obviously, the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, and everything that he can do kind of overshadows their bad defense, kind of putting them higher on this list. The Bengals with Andy Dalton, obviously, he's played pretty well so far, even with losing Mohamed Sanu and Marvin Jones. The Seahawks, obviously, they're going to be coming in number 6 because of their defense. Their offense had a pretty good game against the Jets, but everybody seems to be doing well against the Jets. I believe Russell Wilson, I think he will bounce back. They do have the bye week this coming week, so they'll probably stay at this number on the list. One of the surprise picks here, the Steelers at number 5. Obviously, a few weeks ago getting pummeled by the Philadelphia Eagles. They obviously didn't play so well in that game, but they did rebound against the Chiefs, as I mentioned. They gave Antonio Brown had a pretty nice game. Ben Roethlisberger looks very impressive. After a tough loss against the Eagles where he got sacked a few times, fumbled, and threw an interception. Obviously not a good game that game, but I think he will rebound even more coming through the rest of the season because this team is definitely a Super Bowl contender. Moving on to number 4, we obviously have the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the most surprising teams this year. Not in my mind. I thought that they were going to be this good, the same. But I think that their defense and their offense combined with Carson Wentz's amazing play so far. I do think that he is a little bit overrated so far, I will say it, even though it hurts me to say it. I do think that he's a little bit overrated just because, frankly, he really hasn't had to do that much to be that great. But as long as he can keep his stability and keep at least an average play, I think he could eventually lead this team to a Super Bowl. I do not think it's this year. Don't kill me in the comments because I said that. But I do think that they're a top 10 team right now, especially on defense with their front 4. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, especially that group. They have been able to stabilize and help this rest of the defense really succeed. Moving on to number 3, we have the Patriots. The Patriots are obviously Tom Brady. What do you expect? They can win without him. They can win with him. It really doesn't shock anybody. He's coming down. He's going to be playing Cleveland this week, so they're obviously going to win that one. I think that Cleveland, obviously, they're not any match for Tom Brady. I'm pretty sure they're upset that they didn't draft Tom Brady, which I'm pretty sure every other team in the league is. I think I have them ahead, just behind the Broncos, just because the Broncos have a better defense than them. I think that Tom Brady will end up coming back here and probably putting up an MVP year, especially after having 4 weeks off to rest. I think that the Patriots are probably going to be where they usually are, in top of the league. Moving on to number 2, I do have the Broncos rated under the Vikings, just frankly because of Trevor Siemian. Even though he kind of got hurt, I mean, he wasn't to his throwing shoulder, but I think that just frankly because the Vikings have a better overall team. Sam Bradford, obviously the trade has worked out very well for both the Eagles and Vikings. It really helps them out on offense. Even without Adrian Peterson, when he does get back, that should be a scary offense to watch. So I do think that them, combined with their defense, they are the most well-rounded team such far this year. We'll see if they can stay healthy and all that. That'll wrap up my Week 5 power rankings. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.